你到了惠灵顿，可能要去买一个网络 SIM 卡，这个有一点点困难。我有去他们店里，一个是 SIM 卡加网络，这个价格会比较好，而且你可以打电话。另外一个是一个网络卡而已，那个会比较贵，所以要注意去买哪一个。So in this day and age, I don't know if you want to go and buy yourself a data SIM card when you travel. You might want to check with your mobile company. Their roaming rates might be better than what's to offer on a local rate. That's not the case in my case. My roaming rates are very expensive, so I still have to go for a local SIM card with a data package. That is not a data card, it's a SIM card with a data package. It's tricky because there is a difference and it might cost you quite a bit of money if you mix them up when you come to Wellington. As far as I can tell, there are 3 main places that you can get a SIM card at. One is called Spark, one is called 2 Degrees, and the other one is called Vodafone, which is the one I went with, simply because it was the closest to my hotel. I did have a quick look online at the Spark website, and it wasn't too clear what their prepaid SIM cards were, but I would imagine it would probably all be around about the same. You can of course also grab one right at the airport as you arrive, but it seems like the shops at the airport close at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And I arrived at 6 o'clock in Wellington, so the shops are all closed when I got there. However, it's really easy to go into town and get one as well. So back to Vodafone, I went to a retailer in downtown Wellington. I guess you can also buy this card and do it yourself just from like a convenience store, but I like to go to the retailer because I want them to set it up and everything. It's also better if I'm making a video because I can ask them all the questions I want to ask them regarding the cards and the data packages and stuff that they offer. So my main purpose for using this card would be data related, like checking emails, sending messages, stuff like that. And that is what I did tell the guy at the store. So he gave me a data card. Now, a data card that is valid for 3 months, which is really nice, and you can top it up and then it gives you an extra 30 days. However, there's no calls or anything related to telephone services. So it's really just a data card. I mean, in his defense, I did say that I wanted a data card. But luckily for me, because I'm making videos, I was asking lots of questions, and for the purpose of my videos, I wanted to know what the other options were. So I started asking about the prepaid SIM cards with data. In other words, something that also gives you some telephone services. And guess what? It's basically the same price. Actually, it's cheaper to get the SIM card with all the telephone services than it is to just get the data card. So I most definitely went for the SIM card with data services. I'm not sure why anyone would actually get just a data card, because the other one has so many more features and services connected to it, and basically for the same price. Okay, so the card I ended up getting is called a travel SIM card, and there were 3 options available: a 1 gig, a 3 gig, and an 8 gig. I imagine the prices are not fixed and they will change over time. So when you come, you might have to look at what they have available for specials during that time. But just to give you an idea, the 2017 prices: 1 gig was $29, 3 gigs $49, and 8 gigs was 99 New Zealand dollars. And of course then the card, you had some calls that you could make on that card, text messages that you could send, and you had that data that you purchased. I do use a lot of data, but I decided to go for the $49 option, which was the 3 gig option. Because, you know, most places in Wellington have free Wi-Fi, and so did my hotel. And to be honest, it's easy enough to add data. With this travel SIM, it's only valid for 2 months, which is probably the only difference between this one and that data SIM. But if you add like 1 gig of data more, which is $20, you get an additional 60 days. And quite frankly, if you're going to stay that long, you should probably think about getting a monthly plan instead. The monthly plans, I would imagine that there's going to be some information required from you, as well as an identification document. And that's the interesting thing. When you get this travel SIM, they don't ask you for any identification. I'm not sure how long that's going to be set and if they're going to change that or if that's a fixed thing for the country. but I've traveled to many places, and most places that you go, you're going to have to give some kind of identification. So either Wellington is an exception on that, or perhaps they'll change it. Best you just take some identification with you when you go and get a card, just in case the rule has changed since I've made this video. And funny enough, just when I thought I understood the system and I knew how the whole pay-as-you-go SIM thing worked, I noticed this. A random tourist stand at my hotel with a free SIM card in one of the brochures. I have no idea how this works. I imagine it's just a marketing strategy that you actually get the free card, but then you still have to go and pay to get actual services and data on it. But it's pretty smart if you ask me. I surely would have gone for this had I seen it before I went to the retailer.